Existence and non-existence. If you perceive mathematics to be the most reliable of sciences, you ought to engage in introspection. Mathematics possesses the ability to establish both the affirmation and negation of a proposition simultaneously. It is a cunning discipline, yet it remains the foundational pillar bearing the entire canopy of knowledge. Physics, in turn, emerges as one of the sciences fundamentally reliant upon the edifice of mathematics for the substantiation of hypotheses and theories. Until the close of the 19th century, Newton's laws reigned supreme, capable of delineating the entirety of cosmic motion. Then came the likes of Einstein, Schrödinger, Max Planck, and their fellow scholars, elucidating the aberrations within our comprehension of the cosmos, time, and space. Lest we become entangled in the labyrinth and intricacies of science, let us converge upon our fundamental inquiry. Can the affirmation and negation of a matter coexist simultaneously? Does time unfold as a series of interconnected epochs, where the past forges the present and the future, or can the future exert influence upon the past? To articulate more precisely, can time be retrogressed to modify an event, thereby impacting the future? I implore you not to be disconcerted and to relinquish any distractions, for we have arrived at the most intricate and paradoxical notion, simultaneously characterized by its novelty and peculiarity. The realm of quantum mechanics. The entire world is comprised of two entities: mass and energy. Mass takes shape as an assemblage of atoms, each harboring a positive nucleus around which orbit negative electrons. These are fundamental tenets in the realm of sciences, familiar to us indeed. As for energy, it is not merely a wave as once believed, but rather it also comprises discrete units known as quanta. These are not fundamental principles, but rather the gin extracted from the flask by Max Planck. In the 17th century, Newton postulated that light consisted of minute particles, but subsequent scientific experiments demonstrated that light is indeed a wave, not a particle. However, the real conundrum emerges in the realm of electrons, indubitably particles simultaneously existing as waves. This presents a situation of great peculiarity and peril, as it bridges the chasm between matter and energy. This signifies that everything in the world, including humanity itself, is not matter, but energy. Each entity moves as though a corporeal form and simultaneously sways as though a wave. Paradoxically, the very motion itself may be illusory, for nothing can be definitively relied upon. The gin that upended the foundations of scientific understanding is quantum mechanics. This theory, pioneered by the German physicist Max Planck, ushered the world into an immense cloud of bewildering possibilities that baffle the mind and assert that nothing in this realm can be unequivocally trusted. It ultimately places human perception at the forefront of this universe's creation. Do not be astonished, for in truth, the world and all within it are already non-existent. Yet, it is our perception that renders it existent. Does this discourse appear peculiar? Well then, let us delve into a somewhat renowned experiment undertaken in 1801 by the British scientist Thomas Young, the double-slit experiment. His intention was to discern the nature of light, whether it consisted of particles or waves. Young's concept relied on a barrier with a single slit through which light was directed. Subsequently, the light passing through the slit would create a line on the screen positioned beyond the barrier. Yet, when he replaced the single slit with two slits, the intuitive expectation of creating two lines collapsed. Instead, the light exhibited as luminous lines upon the receiving screen, not two lines as presumed. And thus, it is evident that light is a wave. When it passes through the two slits, the wave divides into two, and the meeting of the crests of the first wave with those of the second wave forms luminous lines, known as constructive interference. Conversely, the convergence of the troughs of the first wave with those of the second wave results in non-luminous lines, termed destructive interference. Do not occupy your mind with the intricate scientific specifics of this experiment if it eludes your understanding. The crucial point is that the double-slit experiment corroborated the wave nature of light. Up to this juncture, there is nothing astonishing in this revelation. What truly bewildering is that when scientists replicated this experiment with electrons particles possessing mass, they discovered that the stream of electrons behaved in a manner akin to light. In other words, electrons passing through the double slits exhibited wave-like behavior, confirming that they were waves rather than particles. Yet, the most remarkable aspect is that scientists did not stop at this astounding revelation. They placed monitoring devices at the slits to observe the electrons as they passed, aiming to ascertain their wave-like characteristics. In this instance, however, the behavior of electrons changed. They manifested as particles instead of waves, creating only two lines on the receiving screen, as if they were aware of being under observation, behaving in their material nature rather than their wave nature. For the second time, this information is of utmost significance, as it implies that electrons possess a dual nature. Consequently, every material object we know of is, in truth, a wave. This is not the entirety of the matter. Scientists postulated that electrons possess consciousness and awareness of being observed, prompting them to alter their nature. Seeking to deceive electrons, scientists placed the observation devices behind the slits rather than in front. In this scenario, electrons would pass as waves, as they were not observed. Strangely enough, the electrons exhibited particle-like behavior as well, passing through the slits like waves. Yet, upon encountering the observation devices, it seemed to retrogress to his past state and acted as particles once again. I am aware that this topic is perplexing, bewildering, and challenging to comprehend. However, it leads us to a deeper understanding of the nature of life and the world around us, addressing profound and intricately complex questions. Yet, more significantly, without delving further into complexities, electrons spin upon their axes. We discern this as they generate a magnetic field. Do you happen to know the direction in which an electron spins? Quantum mechanics states that an electron spins in all directions simultaneously. It rotates both clockwise and counterclockwise simultaneously. However, when observed, it selects a specific direction in which to spin. Are you aware of the gravity of these conclusions? They imply that the entire world is subject to human perception. Perception defines its nature and existence. This signifies that the entire universe exists in all its probabilities, and perception is what manifests a given outcome. Thus, humanity possesses absolute free will. If one were capable of observing every particle in the cosmos, he could determine its life and fate. Of course, humans cannot achieve this, but there is one who can, the God. Have you seen how science managed to approach the truth of the divine existence? Do you now understand why the Almighty said, "Only those fear Allah, from among His servants, who have knowledge"? It's because they are the ones who come closest to Him, truly knowing Him. True knowledge is the path inevitably leading to belief in the existence of God. Yet, counterfeit knowledge and falsehoods have estranged us from that truth. We have come remarkably close to the end of the rabbit hole and its marvelous realms. Prepare, for we are on the brink of the return journey, one in which we will require a formidable guide.